hello, everybody. How are you guys doing today?
What's going on, everyone?
We are. It's been a month, and I've been seeing your comments, and I think a lot of them are very accurate. You
The
guys.
over under. This is hilarious.
So, first of all, can everybody hear us fine? Is everybody going well? You hearing us fine? We are having a lot of storms overhead, so if I get a little blurry, please excuse me. It's just sound wave.
All right. Yeah. Finally, I'm actually in a good spot. There's the rain passed earlier this week.
Okay,
All right.
cool. We're all good to go. All right. So, welcome again to our live. You have anything to say, Bobby, before we get started?
Well, actually, yes. So, thanks everyone for joining. We're really excited to share this. I think this is really fun. It's been a crazy February for me. Want to give a special shout out and a happy birthday to Warren, one of our members. Today is actually his birthday, so want to give you a shout out for that. Happy birthday to you! And hopefully there's some things that we've collected this month that you find interesting. Please let us know. Um, I see blurry, too much to drink. Yeah, I think I've been drinking too much actually for all this stuff I've done. And I want to also give a shout out to my lady because when I was on vacation, as you guys saw in one of the shorts, she actually grabbed a lot of my packages that came. It was crazy because it was the 1 week that I was gone that everything decided to land for me. So shout out to her for going out and picking up all these packages. Um, and I think we're ready to go ahead and start. I think we're gonna break this down into a couple of segments. We'll probably do things that are kind of Transformers related, and then probably go into our Hasbro, into Legends if we got any, and into third party masterpiece if we got any of those as well. Of course, I think I may have gotten one or two more than James, maybe. So James will be monitoring the chat as we go through this. So, you know, as always, thank you for joining us on this journey. And for our members and our subscribers, our official sponsor, the Chosen Prime. I mean, we're just really excited about this. And so I think we're ready to go, James.
Well, let's talk about one more thing. We will be doing a live during TFCon.
Yes, yes.
So we don't have a date yet, but we will have that for you and we'll let you know. And I think we might be doing the third party panel live as well, depending on
Definitely.
how things go as the Wi-Fi and stuff goes. As you know, hotel Wi-Fi can be a little bit finicky, but stay tuned. We're gonna be posting hopefully something on that soon. So I think with that said, let's get into it. So I'm going to go ahead and solo Bobby because he is the star of the show. I will be his support in the back. And it's this one. No, yeah, there we go. Almost there. There we go. All right, Bobby,
Oh
feel
gosh.
free to start.
What's really crazy is all the remnants of boxes and stuff, and actually some stuff is like kind of showing. So, we'll try to hide that a little bit, maybe not. But let's go ahead and start with some things that are kind of Transformers related. A lot of you all asked me about these, and I've kind of got addicted now. So let's turn them this way. So this is actually the 86th year of the tech spec cards from Chris over at Internet Rebellion. You can find him on Etsy. This one, again, backwards, actually comes with 2 boxes. So there's a lot of stuff here. It's really, really cool. So shout out to Chris. And then for being a repeat buyer, he actually included a couple of others. And so we have RC, we have Unicron, and we have the Quintesson. So I thought that was really cool. Again, appreciate it, Chris, for looking out for me. So now I have the 84, 85, and 86
Yeah,
line.
and then let's take a quick question. So Deceptosaurus Den says, how much for all of those?
God, this is gonna sound bad. I do not remember. Check
Oh my
out
god.
again. It's it's bad. Go to Internet Rebellion on Etsy, and he has the 84, 85, and 86. I apologize. I This is gonna sound like a first world problem. I don't actually pay attention to the prices when it's something I want. I do. Wait, let me change that. I do pay attention if it's like abnormal, but these I thought were a steal. So I think I want to say like 25 bucks. I could be totally wrong. It might be 40 bucks. I don't remember actually, but um it's crazy. um Then we'll go into, again, you guys have got me into these comics now. So I picked up Void Rivals, got a couple of these issues that were missing. I picked up my gaps in the Transformers line as well. And then I picked up Duke and Cobra Commander. So I have issues 1 through 3 in Duke and 1 through 2 Cobra Commander, and then just the gap fillers in the Voids and the Transformers. So I'm really digging these comics. So I'm still a little bit behind. I think I'm on episode or issue 3 of Void Rivals. So I hope to catch up on that this week. And
Wow. I never thought I'd see you read so many comics.
I know I like blew through Transformers, blew through Cobra Commander, blew through Duke, and yeah, it's been really cool, and I love how everything is synced together. So I'm really interested on joining this journey of the Energon vision of not Transformers, excuse me, the Energon vision in comics. There we go.
Yeah, and let's
So
go through some of these comments really quick. We've got Jonathan Walker saying, yes, Void Rivals. So are you liking those? Is Void Rivals pretty good?
it is. It is.
Okay.
It kind of started off a little slow because I didn't understand what I was getting into. Again, I understand Transformers, I understand GI Joe. I didn't know what Void Rivals was, and then I was just like, oh, okay, now I get it. So yeah, it's getting good.
Okay. Blue Deseo says he claims the comic influence. I think so. I think you made me read it, if I'm remembering correctly. So you definitely have that claim. I don't know about Bobby.
I'm easily influenced at times. Peer pressure is a mug.
Let's see. Libra Review says he wants to read the latest issues of the new GI Joe stuff.
Yeah,
How many have out already?
I've only
2
read.
each?
So there's 2 of the Cobra Commander, and there's 3 of the Duke.
Yeah. Okay. Jonathan Walker says Cobra Law for Life. Definitely. Yes, he definitely did, and that made me happy. And then
So surprised.
Maui IDW says the wonderful trans red box back there. He did remember. He did say his came broken. I hope you got that fixed.
Yes.
If not, I hope that happens in the future. Let's see. Yeah, there will be. Thank you, Libra Review, for mentioning that. There will be a free comic book on Free Comic Book Day, and that Megatron cover looks amazing. So I'll definitely be trying to pick that up. And then,
Yes.
what did I think of them? I liked them. I was quite surprised. The artwork's still not my favorite. I like my Transformers a little bit more involved than the G1 designs, but I do like the story and where it's going. So thank you again.
And I did
Oh,
want
and here's
to
a
add.
correction. Oh, go
I
on.
want to
Yeah.
add one thing to that. I've been picking these comics up at Urban Pop, so shout out to Chris, and he invited me to do a live from the comic store shop. So I took him up on that. So I think after TFCon, be looking out for some updates on maybe me doing a live from a comic book store talking about Transformers and maybe sharing some stuff about comics that I have absolutely no idea about, but we will be keeping you posted on that as well.
Stay tuned for that. And here's a quick correction. We've got 3 Dukes and 2 Cobra Commanders. So
Right.
good
I
to
thought,
know.
yeah, 3 Dukes and 2
Um,
Cobra Commanders.
And then Buzzsaw Eject says you haven't touched a comic since IDW ended. Too many unread to start collecting a new series. If you do have a lot of comics, it might not be a bad idea to jump on these. These are surprisingly good. So
My first
I
introduction.
yeah, so I would definitely look into that. But all right, well, let's keep it going. What else do you have for us?
So that's all for the Transformers related. So I guess we can go ahead and jump into Hasbro.
Mhm.
And so starting off, this was again something I've been doing is adding to my G1 collection. This is a KO of Beachcomber that I picked up. This actually was supposed to come in November, but got lost. And so I finally got it in February, which is crazy. I haven't opened it
Now,
yet.
is that the same one that got lost, or did they send out a
They sent out
replacement?
a new one.
Okay, that's what I thought. I'm like, that would be weird to be in travel that long.
Yeah, I mean, and there was things that were coming, and I kind of lost track of it for a little bit, and then I was just like, "Where's my Beachcomber? I thought I paid for it." So, um, yeah, so I finally got it. This one is probably a surprise, but maybe not a surprise, and it's Legacy Thundertron.
Oh, wow. I thought you were
I,
like 100% out on that after you saw the in-hand images.
I'm gonna blame my neighbor Mike D for this because he saw them and put one up just in case I came by and wanted to grab it. It was this and also Animated Prime. The Animated Prime is still there, so I did grab this though. Haven't decided if I'm going to keep it, but I did want to show some love for Hasbro, so we'll see. And
And yes, Jonathan, that is the one with the peg leg. So
yes,
Bobby loves pirates and peg legs, especially in his Transformers.
I do not. This was the
And it's
only one when they talked about the
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 pirate.
the line that actually looked halfway decent, and I almost felt guilty by not buying a Hasbro figure. So this is the one that
Well,
I
you're gonna have to open that up and let me know how it is because it does look good. I just hate the shoulder pads.
yeah, and I have no connection to the original, so it was kind of easy to say, okay, it looks halfway decent. I'll try it out. And then my last one is actually Studio Series Scrap Heap, which another Junkion. I do love the Junkions. So this was a easy pickup. What's funny about it is that you text me because you saw this in store, and James hasn't really seen. I haven't told James really about anything I collected this month. I usually do, and he surprises me. So this is my opportunity to surprise him with stuff that I got. So he asked me if I needed it, and I had to tell him that I already got it. So,
You could have just said no, and I would have thought you didn't want
well,
it. But
you knew I
yeah,
wanted
no.
it. So,
Well, you said you were on the fence with it. I remember that. All right. Well, that's all you're okay. Well, I
that's
guess
my Hasbro.
the intermission's coming up early, so I'm a little scared for your wallet if that's the all of the Hasbro you got. So we're gonna go ahead and switch this over, and I'm going to take control. Oh, and Deceptosaurus Den, I do have to pull this out. I never feel guilty about stiffing has-beens with my money. Right there with you. Okay, I had to put that one out. So the Libra view says he thinks we need better masterpiece Junkions. What do you think about that, Bobby? Since you do have all those Xtransbots and whatnot.
The KFC ones, the KFC ones are actually really good. I was pleasantly surprised, though we don't have anything to really compare them to. So they came out a couple years ago. Uh,
Mhm.
I like them. I just got the Shattered Glass one last year from the BotCon exclusive, and I really, really like that one. If somebody else decides to do them, they have they have to really improve on what we've already got from the KFC ones. I mean, their chest and arms and stuff like that can come off and be interchanged. So just like the Junkions, and are in the movie, and so I thought that was really cool. So I mean, we can get better ones, but I'm happy with the ones I have actually.
Yes, and let's just go through some comments really quick. Here, Loki Zocht says, yes, space pirates from Seacons. I have those. I love them. Um, I wish TFC made them. Wouldn't be good for my budget, but I definitely would have picked those up. Warren asks me if I'm in on Missing Link. Not yet. I'm not a big Autobot fan, as you could probably tell. So if they do a Megatron, I would be 110% in, or even a Soundwave. I think that would be cool. The only Autobot I would probably get would be Perceptor, which I don't think is going to come for a long time if it ever comes. Let's see. Here's another question. Wondering if we're big on third-party combiner fans. Well, Bobby, are you
Yeah,
a big third-party combiner fan?
slightly.
I mean, I am. I have quite a bit of them. I have maybe 10 to 15 up on my little combiner shelf over here, but I'm sure Bobby blows past me since he has like 3 Devastators and all that stuff.
Gosh, yeah, I'm in for the third party MP ones. So, yeah, the Stunticons, the Aerial Bots, Bruticus, Defensor. God, yeah, I'm burning for a Computron. You know, they're playing with my emotions, not giving us a Computron.
And oh, here's our friend Isaiah. He said, "How much have you missed?" Not much. Bobby got a KO, Thundertron, KO, comma Thundertron, and then comics and tech specs. And we're about to get into mine.
Scrappy.
So you came in at the right time. You haven't seen Bobby's his haul yet. So why don't we just get into it then? So I got 2 figures, one I bought and one that was a gift from my lovely wife. And the first thing that I bought was Knockout, which I only got him because he was $11.50 on Amazon. He was on sale. And for $11.50, this thing is great. I liked the Jazz mold. I think it's a fun transformation. Obviously, I like the Decepticon better. The chest is a bit much. It's not very lockdowny. But the one thing I hate is the staff, because who thought it was a good idea to have a staff have a handle coming off of it instead of just not doing this design and having him hold it like this? I don't understand that, but this, I didn't talk about it because I kind of wanted to throw Bobby off, but this is the reason why I'm okay with getting the breakdown, because they kind of go together. I know Bobby doesn't understand or remember.
I remember from Prime. They're friends.
Yeah, okay, but they, yeah. So I'm like, okay, I could deal with that. But it's a good mold. But like, what is up with these holes? There I am. Like it's just it's crazy. But yeah, exactly. But $11.50, no complaints for me. It's a fun figure.
Well, you know, they had the 2-pack for $17 at Walmart.
What did he come with though?
Yeah,
because you didn't open them yet.
I want to say Alita 1. I don't know.
Okay, I wouldn't have mind getting that too, but I never saw those at my Walmarts. So
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm glad with that. And this next one that I got was the present from my wife. It's not a Transformer, technically, but I got it because it looks like a Transformer. And honestly, I don't even remember the name of it, but it's the Power Ranger Abyss Spider. Yeah, I know you hate it, Bobby, but this thing is really fun. This is like it's everything I want a Hasbro figure to be. Now it is expensive. It's like $100, but it has like all this chrome. It's really like clicky. It has a whole bunch of posability, which is the only reason I would ever think to ever get it. And yes, thank you, Steph. You do love it. So it's a great figure. I got it because it looks like Black Arachnia, and I was going to use it as an alternate universe Black Arachnia, but I got it, and I think it's going to be its own character. So I'm very surprised at how good this is, and I also like it because it comes with, make sure he doesn't fall, a cicada, and something I've never seen in a transforming robot line, which is a millipede or a centipede.
Oh, that's all you. Like, that's all you.
These are so cool, and this turns into a chainsaw for him to hold, and this is like some knife thing. But you know what? Yeah, and that's another. Yeah, Jonathan just said it looks like it might go with the Hasbro Insecticons. It could with the colors, actually, with the gold and the purple and the blue. So yeah, I'm really like it. So I'm surprised. I saw the white one, honestly, Bobby, because I know you love Power Rangers, and you probably have it as well. And I wanted the white one, but then I saw this color, and I need to have it. So yeah, I don't know where I'm gonna put it. It's definitely not a Power Ranger in my collection. I'm gonna give it a Decepticon symbol, and he's gonna go somewhere. So yeah, and yes, Isaiah, that's what I was thinking. It looks like it could be her brother. I like crazy, kooky stories like that, so I'll make something up for my collection.
Well, I'm just happy that you got some figures that, and your wife, Mrs. Khan, shout out to her, love her, that she hooked you up with something that you like and that you'll use because clearly I was on this ship alone of purchasing stuff for February, it seemed like. So thank you.
Yes, and, and before we go off, go Deceptor Rangers.
Oh
I want
God.
that on a shirt.
Oh God. No. Don't do that to us.
Right.
To
Well,
me.
that's honestly all I got. I've been trying to save some money up for DFCon, so I know that's going to be a big blow to my budget. Yes, that's coming up. So why don't we switch back over to Bobby, and I'm going to get comfy. Go ahead, Bobby.
All right. So um somebody just asked what's the count so far. Blue to Sail, I see that. So far we touched on 3 Hasbro figures. I won't count the Transformers related stuff. So we'll just go with just the figures so far. So 3 is where we're at, and let's jump into kind of my third party legends size things here. So first I'm going to start with Drillhorn. And I know Isaiah has messaged me about this as well. Prior to these getting released, he was talking about getting in on these Iron Factory Leo Kaiser combiners, and so I jumped on it as well. And
That is so tiny.
yeah, well, and then here's Kill Bison, so we can kind of see them next to each other, and then this is the part that's like really crazy is their breastmasters. Like they can literally sit on my finger. And then we have their legs, which I like. I like the size of these. These, you know, I'm creating something in my head where maybe somebody created a gun or something like that and they got shrunk. I don't know. I'm not very creative when it comes to these things. I just like the figures. So um those are from Iron Factory. And then Pengu Toys Loki,
Oh.
which I actually like all the accessories he comes with. Definitely not as Loki-ish. I mean, the look, yes, but it's still a Cyclonus mold, I believe they took to repurpose it
Hmm.
into this. Tons of accessories. I mean, swords, blast effects. This is actually his hand turning blue and him shooting out ice blade, whatever icicles. His scepter, so pretty cool here. I like this, and those were my Legends figures of the month. So it's been, you know, this is why I said that I'm not necessarily a Legends collector because in comparison to my masterpiece purchases, it pales in comparison. But I have gone ahead and said I'll take the moniker of a Legends collector now.
You definitely are. Let's look at some of these comments. So, first off, any bets on how much Bobby spent this month? Go ahead and put it in the chat. Let us know. If you want to wait till after you see it all, that's fine too. Jonathan Walker says we need to start a counter on screen for his hauls. I agree. I don't know how to do that, but I'm going to look into it for the next one. So
That's hilarious.
be prepared for that. Deceptosaurus Den. I think this was about the Leo Kaiser. He needs more, and Isaiah says that he loves them. So that's all good. Oh, the Titan as well says he's loving the Iron Factory Leo Kaiser. So I'm
I
glad
am
that
too.
they're up there. And Jonathan says counter should be -1 for Hasbro, half for Legend, 1 for MP, and 2 for what James likes. I like that scoring structure. And yes, so that Loki does look like IDW Leech Maximo, and I hope they repaint it as such. That would be really cool.
But would you get it though if it came out in Legend scale? Well, and it's a little bit bigger.
That's not really Legend
Yeah,
scale.
it's like
Like
a Chug
it's
scale.
deluxe size. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. For the price, they're like what, $30. I totally get that. The Deceptosaurus Den says you're still on your first pallet. So
Yeah, I'm
and
actually.
before we get into this, Sonic Cat says 5,000.
Oh God, I will not admit or deny any of this because I did
Oh,
not keep track.
count it up. And I
Yeah.
think John's trying to give you PTSD from last year by saying he just ordered a third-party Omega Supreme. So if you don't know, last year was the year of Omega Supremes for Bobby. I think he got about 17 of them.
It felt
And
like
I'm
it.
not even joking.
It felt like it. It did. I literally have a Omega Supreme case.
All right. Well, why don't we get on to the third party / masterpiece? And I think this
So
is our longest segment. So
yeah, so I didn't really know how to do this. So and yes, I am looking on both
wait,
sides.
we got to pause. The Titan said, "I'm guessing Bobby spent slightly less than the GDP of Nicaragua." Okay. All right, I just had to show that one. Now,
That's
feel
hilarious.
free.
So I really didn't. These are not in a particular order based on what I like or liked or didn't like. So I actually did them by company in alphabetical order, or as close to as I remember. So um up first is Kang Toys, Shuriking, or Stegosaurus.
Stegosero, because he has an
Stegosero,
arrow,
yeah.
bow and arrow. Right?
Yeah. So there's Snarl, which I'll be honest, this thing looks amazing in person. And I've only so a lot of these are I've only transformed them once and they kind of stayed where they're at pretty much. Maybe I transformed a couple of back, but the transformation on this was not pleasant. The instructions are very bad. And that part, like this shoulder piece here, it was very unclear of how things are supposed to be so you can get it together. But I figured it out, and once you figure it out, everything pegs together really, really well. He has tons of weapons, and actually, I don't know where I put his. Oh, there they are. He has like these sword weapons that peg on the side, and it looks really. Let's see, there we go. I mean, he's just like a little mini tank in dino mode. So I like this. I like this a lot. So any questions, please put them in the
Yeah, we
chat.
got one right here. Is the manual Hasbro level bad or even worse?
Oh, even worse. It's terrible. It's like I watched the video, and when I got this, there wasn't a lot of videos out because the instructions were so bad, and even in the video that was bad. So so I had to kind of figure out some things and play around with it, and then I got it. And honestly, because there's a piece here that I mentioned, it's like a whole bunch of stuff happens right around this part here. It's tucked in, and you have to untuck it, and it's so tight, which is good. It's a good tight, but you almost feel like you're going to break it because you don't want to put too much pressure on it. And then I was just like, okay, let me keep going, and then it slid out, and I was like, oh, okay, great. I like that it's secure, so that part was good about it.
Yeah. Buzzsaw Eject says King Toys transformations are always trying. They are. It took me a week. I did one a day. The Predaking that's right there.
Yeah.
Deceptosaurus Den says he wished they came with Decepticon sellers so they could be the Decepticon rivals to his Dinobot. So this is something I wanted to bring up. If they came out with the original color with the
The red.
see-through red fins, and the black color, I probably would have picked this up. But in the normal G1 Dinobot colors, I'm not picking that up. So
Honestly, I think they probably will come out with those colors as well if they do anything similar to what they did with the Predaking and had it come out in the original colors and then came out with the gold. I hope they don't do a gold on this. I will be out if they do a gold on this.
it's kind of close enough already too. It already
Exactly.
has gold on it. It's not like the Predaking that it had gold, but it wasn't like
Red and
over.
black. And,
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
So
Titan wants to start a betting pool on not only how many pickups, but how many are still in the box. That's a good idea. You could have two pools right there. Isaiah says he's not crazy about the dino head.
so
Yeah, I agree. It looks better in person when Bobby showed me a few
I
days
was
ago.
about to say it actually looks a lot better in person to me. I didn't like it at first at all, but it actually looks a lot better in person.
Yes, and it does. Loki, I'm just going to call you Loki if you don't mind, says it was designed without keeping in mind the transformation is supposed to be fun. It's like a lot of King toys, honestly. So, okay, what else
All
do you
right.
got for us?
So then I picked up Collection Space CS01 Little B, I believe it was her name. And this is another one that wasn't necessarily a fun transformation. And it's really the legs. The legs are really awkward when you put them under the hood. But it does clean up really well underneath. I did like that aspect of it. But getting the legs to kind of fold in the way they're supposed to took some time, and you can see there's a little gap here, a little bit more on this side, and that's just because the legs. I got tired of messing with it actually. The part that I really hate about this, and this is something you pointed out, James, was these front wheels are really, really thin compared to the back wheels. Well, actually, the back wheels look thin here, but they seem balanced here, and these are a little sunken in. Now, again, I
Yeah.
don't think it's due to transformation, but I'm not going to say that I'm 1,000% on that. But it's good enough, and I was actually talking about the red one that they're coming out with, and my lady says she likes it. So I was very surprised. I may or may not pick that up, so we'll see what happens there.
I'm still waiting on the blue one. I mean, there's literally a female version of Bumblebee that's blue. I don't know why they didn't do that one, but
Yeah, yeah.
I want
Well,
my glyph. They're not going to
yeah.
do it now that I want it. You know that's how the universe works. So
Well, it's so easy to kind of do these when you already have the mold. It's just a matter of dropping in some paint. But
yeah.
so
Oh,
then,
let's see. We have a
oh.
few questions. Warren says it looks like you're holding a cartoon with that one.
It does. It
In
does really look
defense
like.
of Kang, lots of companies do every few. Yeah, yeah. I think they have great figures. It's just their transformations that aren't the best.
Yeah, I love
Um,
Kang actually.
Buzzsaw says I used to be slow to open my mind to third-party figures such as QC issues becoming more common. Don't talk to Bobby about QC issues. But yeah, the DS Superion. Uh-huh. Yeah, Bobby had every one of his figures that needed something.
I actually
Yes,
started.
some wheel covers. I probably would actually fix that for
Yeah.
that Bumblebee. Yeah. Okay, what were you gonna say? Sorry, Bobby.
No, I was gonna say that I actually started creating a list of all the QC issues I've had, and I know I'm missing some, but I was at 22 as of Friday, and that was for last year alone, and that was a combination. I mean, of every company. I know we jump on Xtransbots a lot. So I think I had 4 or 5 from Xtransbots. I think I had 3 or so from DS, 1 from Fans Toys, 1 from Fans Hobby. I think I had a couple from MMC, of like 3 or 4 from Make Toys. So, it's something that I see a lot, and unfortunately, because I purchased so many, it's like it feels like it's, you know, 1 out of every 5 or so I get issues, but, um, I just saw the Titans message.
You know,
Um,
the time.
uh, but yeah, I started looking at it, I was just like, well, I need to make sure, but I do wanna kinda get a count of how many QC issues I have, and maybe we'll do a episode or something like that, or just just a talking point.
Yeah, and Steve asks if I'm under the weather. I don't think so. I woke up with a stuffy nose, and it's funny you say that because my wife asked me that this morning too. But I feel fine. So, with that in mind, what's your next figure, Bobby?
All right, so now we're gonna go down to DX9 G2 Kokinski, or their dead end,
Hmm.
which again, this was a figure I was really looking forward to. I mentioned, I think in our December hauls, I picked up uh Breakdown. I think it was. I don't
Yes, it
remember.
was breakdown.
It was
Yeah,
Breakdown.
yeah,
And I said, I wanted to start getting on these just in case they decided to release the last 2 figures from their G2 line, which was this guy and Motormaster. And then we got an update that they were releasing this. So I was really excited just because I didn't want to see the prices start going up all over the place, like they tend to do. So, but I did pick this up. I like it. Love the colors. Everything pops on it. No real backpack, flat. This is really cool. So
yeah.
now I will have the G2 from Xtransbots and the G2 from DX9 when this is finished. And then there was Fans Hobby. So finally got my RID Scourgeon, which again, I got the trailer a couple of months before I got this, so very happy to get this in. Solid figure. I do wish the chest opened and there was a matrix and things like that, or not a matrix, but since they used the prime mold. But I understand because it's Scourge, so be it. But this was kind of cool,
Now that was their first figure
and it was
that
their
they
first.
released.
It is.
So there are problems with it, in my opinion, but I do like it. I think it makes a great piece on a shelf.
Yeah, and honestly, for it to be their first figure, I don't, maybe because I was late to the game and getting it, I can appreciate it for what it is, and then I can appreciate all their other stuff as well.
Yeah, yeah. They really grew as a company, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
So I'm gonna move this over here, and second on the list is, oh, that I hate when these happens. And this is, if I can make some room, this is their Overlord, or their Double Evil. This is the A version. So this is the one that came with the extra Power Masters, and it's a slightly different color as well. So the cool thing is it has the the 2 originals, but then he also has the 2 new ones here, and their backpacks. Just flip these around here. Are slight. Actually, here we go. You stay there. The backpacks are a little bit different shaped as well, so you can see the difference. So I was really excited to get these because I like the little additions that they added. The colors look good, and this is again, I have the other version, and this looks good. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to display this one, if I'm going to have this in its two vehicle molds, or if I'm going to transform the other one into the vehicle molds, but we'll see. And James, I'm not looking at the question, so I don't know what's popping up here.
No, I am looking as well. People are asking if their what's it called? If they're keeping count, I believe it's about 6 for Bobby. Titan says there's a Toy Hacks has a sticker set for Scourge. I think Bobby's already had that on him,
Yes.
if I'm
So
not mistaken.
so here is the sticker set. You can kind of see.
Yeah, it does look nice.
And
Isaiah says that Scourge looks big enough to fight the HasLab. I think they would honestly be the same height. Well, not in combined mode, but in the normal mode. Yeah.
All right. So then
Steve says here's a question. Steve says, Barbarino, how would you compare Fans Hobbies Overlord with the version by Mastermind Creations if you have the latter as well? So Bobby does not have that one.
Oh.
I have that one. I have the Mastermind Creations one. I like how sleek the Mastermind Creations one is personally, but I can see why somebody wouldn't want it because it's so stylized, as well as having the tank mode's just kind of strange. It kind of looks like a crab with a tank coming out of it with a turret. But at the same time, I like it. So it really depends on what you're looking for. I think they're both really good figures, though.
Yeah, for me, I was actually trying to debate which one to get, and I like the size of the Fans Hobby version better. I thought it fit better in my collection than the MMC, but I don't know. I haven't circled back around to pick up the MMC one yet.
Well, the size is a good point that you brought that up because I'm the opposite. I like the size of the MMC one better because he's more along the lines of the other Phase Sixers with 6-Shot and Black Shadow. So, yes. Let's see. Michael says he loves Fans Hobbies Double Evil. He has the original one. Oh, you have the original G1 Overlord. That is amazing. That's a great figure. I hope to have it one of these days. And let's see. Isaiah says Overlord. He just started watching Master Force. So I think you watched all those, right?
Yeah, I watched them last year.
And Deceptosaurus Den says he wants a Legends Overlord. I'm sure Bobby would buy that as well. Why don't we move on to whatever else you have?
All right. So keeping with the Fans Hobby, and if you saw our interview with Brandon from the Chosen Prime, you notice we talked about the exclusive. Well, here's their Dark Strike, aka Dark Wing, I believe it is. And he also talked about the Fex Hobby kits, and I did get a couple of these. So this is my favorite mode of this figure. I will be picking up the exclusive, simply because it is the exclusive and I love the colors. I love the colors of this version as well, but I think the exclusive from TCP looks a lot better. I shouldn't say a lot better, but looks better. I'm not necessarily a fan of the bot mode, just being completely honest. It's okay. I don't like how certain things peg together. The thing I do like about this one, though, is that you can have the wings this way with the guns pointing forward, or if you decide to extend the wings, and they tab in really well, you can actually, there's another peg here for the guns to still, oops, I just pegged in the same one. Get in there to still face forward.
That's really cool.
You know, so I did like how they did that. Just the little simple things that makes, you know, a collector happy with the figure. This was one of them. So again, I love this mode. I will combine them eventually when I get a second and see what that looks like. But Darkwing from Fans Hobby.
Yep, that's one I'm looking for at TFCon.
And then I forgot about this one actually. And this is the Naval Commander Shattered Glass Armada Optimus. I know, James, you just really care about the the main bot, inner bot. Here's the trailer. I really like this. This was an exclusive. and I have number 161 of 600. So I believe
Oh,
it
they're
was,
numbered. I didn't think
yeah,
they were going to be numbered. That's cool.
I believe it was Chris Norris who asked about this. I could be wrong. I apologize if I am, but so that's really cool. There's 600 of these made, and so happy to say I have one of them. And I have not transformed it yet, and I don't know when I'll get a chance to.
Yes, Chris says that he loves that SG Prime and that he did ask about it.
Okay, I thought so.
Good memory.
I'm trying, man. These gray hairs are popping up and taking it from me. All right. So then this one is crazy. I have to scoot back for this. So this is something that's going to get added to a collection I started. And this is to my Transformers Optimus collection, and it is the Lewin Resources Optimus Prime. And this dude is huge and heavy and freaking heavy. I mean, it's a great figure. The transformation, I literally have to lay it on my lap, or I sit him on my lap like this, and like I'm like he's a kid, and I'm giving him little, bounces or whatever. But he's freaking humongous, and there's lights and all types of little things on him. We can see there. His feet have lights. I can't remember if I can get to the switch. Yeah. So his gun has a light. The chest opens up, and there's lights here for we can see for his cab mode. The matrix lights up, and I don't think I have the little piece to turn that on around me, but in essence, you can see the matrix in there as well. So I can probably find the piece. Actually, I know where I moved it, but if anybody wants to see that, I can do that. But this dude is freaking humongous.
Now, are you going to go hunt down the Captain America one?
So that is something I am interested in. If I can find it at a reasonable price, don't ask me what reasonable is, but if I can find it at a reasonable price, I probably will pick up the Captain America version. I am also.
What's reasonable?
I don't know. I don't want to jinx myself and say it, and then they're like, yeah, we were going to do it at this price, but now we're going to do it at this price because you'll buy it. I'm also looking forward to the Nemesis version coming out.
Yeah, so that's crazy. Let's look over some comments. And Titan asks if you're driving that to work.
I mean, I think I can get into the carpool lane with it in the front seat, or put it in my daughter's, kid seat, child seat.
Loki says that Prime is a big boy, and Snell said that's what she said. And Chris said that's too big for him. Yeah, I don't even know where I would put that. And that's what she said again. And Autobot Phil says, first time ever catching a live screen. It's cool to see a wider angle of Bobby's collection. It's not what he imagined.
Yeah, this is just, to be honest, this is just one of the rooms. This is just where I record at. So the collection is actually on the other side.
All right. Well, why don't we imagine the size of the trailer?
Yeah, I actually have the trailer, and it's crazy because I've had the trailer. I bought the trailer again
For the Lewin Resources one.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know you had that.
Yeah, because I didn't have a Prime to go with it. It was just like sitting there. I was like, I bought the wrong size trailer.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Yeah,
that makes more sense. All right, well, let's keep it going.
All right. So now we're gonna jump into Make Toys, and I picked up their re-release of Contact Shot, aka Point Blank. This is like my favorite Target Master, and yes, I do have another one that I picked up in LA the very first time we met, James, and so
I remember.
I was really looking forward to this, and so I found somebody online that was selling theirs, and I picked it up. So I did want to get one that I could get the box and all the information with it. So very happy with it. It's it's a great figure. So I have the other one in bot mode. I'll have this one in alt mode, and can keep them on the shelf together.
Now, how's the quality? Because I heard from, I read, not heard, I read online that might be a KO.
I read the same thing. It seems fine to me, though I hadn't picked up the original in probably a year. Well, 2 years. So, uh, I think it's fine. The color is a little bit different, I believe, and the but I didn't see anything that made me say, "Oh, this is crap," you know?
Okay.
So I'm happy with it, and I think it was only like $80 or something like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it was $80. Yeah, which also
so
seemed really cheap. I don't remember what the original was when it came out, but I think it was 100 plus.
well, I paid a lot more late tax to get
Well,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. So um very happy with it though. And has his little target master in the driver's seat, doing his little thing. There we go. Hold him by his head. So yeah, I'm like I said, I'm happy with it. And this was really cool.
Yeah. Um, John Battle says he thought we were childhood friends when we found our channel. We get that a lot. So yeah. I think we talk about how we met on the interview with Get Right Robot.
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting hearing his perspective as well, because we met him right after me and Bobby met. So it was
Yeah.
very
Literally our friendships have grown equally. I think we
yeah.
probably met, and then we probably maybe 2 hours later met Get Right Robot.
Well, it
And
would have been 8 hours later after the class.
well, yeah. Well, I mean, we really didn't start talking and
True. It was
when
after
we went to
lunch. It was
lunch
after,
together,
yeah, and
and
then yeah.
so
Okay. All right. What else do we got?
all right. So sticking with the Make Toys, we're gonna go down with their Lightning, aka Thundercracker, which again, these are some things that I pre-ordered and for Black Friday, and got a pretty good deal on these. I know you're not too much of a fan of this mold, which I'm not really either, but it was a good price for the trio actually. So here's Skycrow, aka their Skywarp, and I just have them on the stand. I took them out the box and literally just put them on the stand, didn't transform them or anything. And then here is Starscream, aka Meteor. So again, I think I got all three of them for 125, I believe was the Black Friday price, something like that. So really cool. And I don't know where I'm going to put these Seekers because I have a few sets of these three originals, but it's nice to see them kind of in different versions. I definitely think the what was it? The I can't even think of the name. It started with a D that is now defunct. That's bad. The other
Which
company that
one?
made
Boy, there I am. Okay.
I can't even think of the name of the company that made them.
Deformation Space.
Deformation Space. There we go. God, that's a problem. See, those gray hairs are kicking up again. So I think those are the best ones, but I am happy to have these as well.
And I do want to give a big shout out to John Battle for being a new YouTube member. We really appreciate it. So you got a lot of perks coming up, so stay tuned for that.
Yes, thank you, John.
Okay. Titan says that we are more like kindred spirits than like-minded. I agree.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Um,
funny when we talk about stuff. I mean, and that's why we kind of started this channel. Is we debated on stuff all the time. James would talk about something that was so great, and I'm like, yuck. And then I would say something, and he'd be like, yeah, that's terrible. And so we have such different opinions, and we figured that just like everyone who loves Transformers, some people love it, some people hate it, some people are on the fence. So we really wanted to put a platform together for everybody to share their views and it all be okay.
yep. No judgment here. Um, hell, I bought a Power Rangers figure.
Uh, but
All right, let's keep it going. What other Make Toys ones? Well, before let's do that, I have a question for you. Who do you think's going to be the Make Toy Seeker of TFCon LA? Because you know one's coming.
yeah, weren't we thinking to sell?
That one. The only one they would get me with, which would be SG or Action Master Thundercracker, with the most horrible paint scheme ever. They might get that for me. Blue DeSeo says Red Wing.
We already
They
got
already
a
did
review.
Red Wing, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're re-releasing it with more stock.
Man, don't start me on that. Oh, that mm. So they got me with the Red Wing when they said it was an exclusive to 200 figures, and I was super excited, jumped on it, and they had it selling all over the place. And
It
I'm
was
like,
cheaper on Show Z.
and yeah, so I'm just like, uh, and yeah, I was heated, and that's still a sore spot for me to this day. I will
Yeah,
buy it still, but the whole idea of an exclusive and only limited to 200, and they did the same thing with their
Slip Swarm.
Slipswarm. They
Mhm.
said it was like an exclusive for TFCon, and then they only brought like 50 or something like that. And they were like,
Yeah.
yeah, everybody else can just buy them online. What the heck, man? So
Yeah, and you're right, Chris. It's TF Source that lied, not Make Toys. No,
yes, clear
gotta
that
get
up.
it.
Definitely
You
clear
are
that up.
100% correct. Um, just don't say it's limited to a quantity. It would have
Yeah,
been
like
fine.
yeah,
So
say it's a TF Con, or it's an exclusive. You can pick it up at TF Con or get it online, whatever. But it's just like, come on, man. But
yeah.
that
And
burns me up.
Blue DeSeo asks, is it worth holding out for the exclusives or just hunt for the deals at the con? Um, I think it depends on the exclusive. And if you want it. Fans hobby, buy at the
Yeah.
con if you're there. Those are gonna sell out.
Yes.
They always sell out, I feel like, if not at the con right afterwards.
Yes.
Make toys are easier to get. Not make toys, excuse me. MMC is easier to get after the con. Ages 3 and up usually has a good stock on those.
Mhm.
And TF Source, who knows?
The reason I jumped on it was because I can't remember where we were at, but when they did, and don't get me lying on the names, but when they did the green and purple one, um, they were at TF Con and then they were gone. And like I couldn't find them anywhere. And I was like, dang, I should have bought them. And then maybe like a year and a half or something like that, they popped up somewhere else. And I can't remember if they were the same price or a little bit more expensive. So now I have such a huge fear of paying late tax that I'll go ahead and get it just for the sake of getting it. If it goes on sale, fine, it goes on sale. But just don't lie to me and say it's limited to 200 pieces.
Yeah. And then while we're on this exclusive talk, the Titan says, any idea when Wingmen will be available on their site? So, and then I accidentally clicked that one, but let's talk about it. I wonder how Jazz getting all up into the Crackers group. Maybe we'll see that. But back to Titan's question. It's usually about a week later.
About a week later.
So I would expect either at the end of next week, well, not next week, the
The
week
week after.
after the con, or the beginning of the week, like Monday or Tuesday. But they're pretty good at posting it. So if you just watch their socials, it'll be up there.
Yeah, and we'll try to, as we hear news, we typically post it for those who follow our news. The only problem I don't like, and James and I have experienced it, where we didn't go to the con in Toronto, and
Oh God.
and it was bananas of us trying to, get our figure. I can't remember, was it
The site crashed for an hour. It was
yeah,
Huntsman.
Huntsman, yeah. And we
Yeah.
were like literally on on
I
tech
was
with
I
each
was
other.
freaking out
Yeah.
the whole
So
time.
yeah,
So
so I mean, those exclusives are really really popular, and they do sell out, and they are a company that says when we make this many, we're making this many. So
and that's
if you
it.
if you can get it, get it. Like, don't wait around or anything like that. At least I wouldn't if you really want it. So
Yes, and then I just have to bring up Chris right here saying he wants to see more Machine Wars Fans Hobby releases. Please pray to whoever you want that happens. So
yeah.
oh, and Paolo has he says that he wants to see a Make Toys G1ified Nitro Zeus Seeker. That would be very interesting. Especially if he has like arm cannons and stuff. That would be very cool. I know Bobby probably doesn't even remember Nitro Zeus, but that would be pretty cool. All right, Bobby. What else do you have for us? Because I'm sure we're like a quarter done, right?
I don't know. I lost count. All right. So let's go. Let's jump into MMC and the R48 NP reformatted Nox Promenon. And this guy is so cool. And maybe is my light bright on the figures, or can you see them? Okay.
Yeah, no, it looks good. I mean, it's a black figure and you are wearing a black shirt, but
Yeah,
it
I know.
looks fine. Yeah.
So I actually love this figure. James talked me into picking up this mold. He talked about it so much. So I did go ahead and pick this up. Looks really great. There's so much articulation in this figure, and that's crazy. And he came with so many weapons. It's like ridiculous. My only gripe about this figure is that he has the Matrix, and you have to take off the handles, and there's nowhere to store the handles when you put the Matrix in the chest, and that's my gripe about this figure.
They do, I think, go on the hips.
Not this
but
one.
They're very not that one.
Not this
okay,
one.
the original one must have, because I remember they barely had held on.
They changed.
Oh, they changed what the hips look like.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it would peg on right here, but yes. So
okay.
My only gripe about this figure. So all right, so this one.
Oh, wait, one second about that figure. Blue DeSeo's asking how much did he run and are the weapons 5mm ports? I can answer the price. I believe it's about 115, 120. I almost picked this up, but then they showed off the oversized Nemesis version, so I'm getting that one instead. And I don't think they're 5mm ports, correct, Bobby?
Right. They're like slots. They slot in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right, so this one is fun. And I showed this to my lady, and she was like, that's really cool. So I did pick up the NBK KS03 King of Gatling. This is their standard version, and I'm glad it all got into the screen. So I shot her in the butt with it. So just to kind of give you guys, I'll shoot the script. Let's see.
Don't.
So yeah, and it's
ridiculous.
Like, okay, that one I might have to find. So it's really, really cool. And so I was amazed by it, and that also caused me to pick up the purple version, which is their limited edition version. So it's a big boy as well. I know we picked up the rifle. This is so much cooler than the rifle, and it holds together so much better than the rifle. So transformation is a little weird, but I mean it's cool, but it's still a little weird how everything works. But I'm so happy I picked these up.
Yeah, it looks like I might be getting one because Steph says she wants it in the comments.
Oh, Steph, yes. I think you both should get one and just like have target practice in your house.
So I did see that you could get extra of the bullets on AliExpress for like $15. So
Yeah, so it comes with 2 extra bullets per figure, and here's kind of how you load the bullets and things, and here's what the bullets look like. Um, and it's really cool because you actually, and here's, I remember we were trying to figure out the name of this, and I still don't remember it. We said
a bandolier, I think that's what it's
something
called.
like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But you basically, clip these together and load the bullets on, feed them through, and it just goes. It's so cool. And I'm so excited about this, and it's a really cool figure. They did a really good job, and I'm gonna have to find where those bullets went. Um, I just saw
His last step.
yes,
So it looks like we're getting it. Bobby is a bad influence. He is. He is. So that is definitely for sure.
yes, yes.
If only it could fire Nerf bullets, that would be pretty cool.
It is. And
That
honestly,
just
these are like plastic tipped, so they're, I mean, like soft plastic tips, so they don't hurt.
it's like plastic tips. That'll still hurt. But
No, I mean the pressure isn't bad. Like I said, I shot my lady in the butt with a few of them. So
here's an interesting thing from Titan. He wants them to use that prime mold that we just talked about to do Superman like Joker. I honestly would probably skip it just because I don't like Superman all that much, but I know Bobby would probably pick it up.
yeah, I'd pick it up.
Yeah. Well, I'd still probably pick it up, but I'd rather have Bizarro. I'd call him Bizarro or something.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Bobby is the real con. So, all right. Let's keep it going. And what else do you have for us?
So Pangu Toys is making its way into a second round because I did pick up their Commander Optimus Prime, the oversized version. And I believe this was like the Magic Square design that they
Yes,
upsized.
I believe so. Yeah. The oversized MP one already, and they made that even bigger.
Yes. So this one as well has lights. Oh, he looks like there's only one light there.
I know. I'm like, he looks like Kano from Mortal Kombat right there.
Yeah, there we go. It's just the way so yes, the lights do. And then I believe the gun lights up. I can't remember how to turn this thing on. But yeah, I don't remember how to turn this on. It's bad. So he has lights as well, not as much as the Lewin. I think I put a light in the Matrix. I can't remember. I apologize. But of course, if anybody wants to see more on this, we will definitely be able to talk about these as well. But this was something that I did like, and it's a sturdy figure, definitely not as heavy as the Lewin. I mean, it's probably, I can, work out with this and be good. But it cleans up really well in the back, which I definitely like. It does have that ab crunch, even though it's more so due to transformation, but he does have an ab crunch, James, and I know how much you love ab crunches.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I have the Ultra Magnus version of this mold, not the oversized one, but and it's a great Optimus, and it was like 120, so that's not bad. And I think this thing's like 180, which is really good for the size too. So it doesn't scale with much, but I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it.
Oh, Duke Nukem, welcome, says that Pengu Prime looks cool in bot mode, but do you have any QC issues? That is something I meant to ask you. So a lot of people said that their left ratchet, I believe, on their arm just sheared straight off.
I have not transformed it yet, and I will do that. That's actually on my list to do because I want to make sure that if there are any QC issues that I have time to message the store to get a new one if so.
Oh, Jonathan says there was a lot of QC issues, and his had 2 left arms. Very unfortunate. So I hope you get both the correct amount of arms for that.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you actually lucked out on one. Well, until you transform it.
Yeah. Yeah. Transformation coming soon. All right. Then let's continue. And this is another one that was a pain. And this is, get over here. Studio
Mm.
01 Primus. And this was a beast to transform. I think I'm going to keep it this way. The part that also was a pain is, and actually, let me just take him off of this space bridge. All these yellow, whatever you want to call them,
Domes
clipping in. Some of them were so tight to plug in, it was like killing my fingers.
So they all came separately, and you had to put them in one by one?
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's
Yes. So
like a
not
Lego.
not fun at all, and there's a lot of them. I mean, just look at that side alone.
Mhm.
There's a lot of them. So popping these things in is definitely a pain. Um, Getting it in planet mode, things were popping out as you were popping other things in. I literally was working on this for a few hours.
Wow.
And it was not enjoyable. It was one of those nights where I stayed up and my lady was going to work and she was just like, "You're still up." I was like, "Yeah." It was like 5 o'clock in the morning. So glad to have him. And then also let me go ahead and show off the Alpha Trion, which is it's really cool figure. It does turn into a head, and there's a little helmet that goes over him, and then there's also another head that comes with him, which is kind of cool. So you have the option of keeping the Alpha Trion head on him or going with, let's see if I can set this up. There we go. That's him
Oh,
transformed.
that actually looks pretty nice.
Yeah, or you can put this head on, and the other head has lights on it. And again, I didn't get around to. I'm not going to transform him for a while. I don't know if I'm going to keep him displayed in planet mode. I think I am, at least for right now. They'll probably come out with another color, like they're doing with their Unicron, and maybe I'll get that one and have that in bot mode. I don't know.
Yeah, and you got a lot of people talking about this. well, let's talk before we talk about that. Hello, Jose. We're glad to see you. He says, "Are we ready to blow? Are you ready to blow your money at the dealer room?" So, you know he is.
I don't
Let's
know.
see.
I might be thrifty this year.
Isaiah says he knows your pain about that, and that he was up until 4 a.m. doing it. So,
Yeah. Yep.
Jonathan Walker says that he wishes he could use that head without the Alpha Trion in it because he really likes the look of that head. If it's not the same, that's a missed connection there. I guess it looks infected with all those little yellow pustules all over it. Septosaurus Den says he wants to shoot 3-pointers with that. Yes. And Steve follows that up with he could picture the 4-foot tall Metroplex trying to slam dunk that Primus. So maybe that's something you're going to have to try when you get that in, Bobby.
That's funny. That is funny.
Oh, and then it looks like Loki is going to bed. Or so. Good night. I hope you have a wonderful rest, and we'll see you soon. All right, what else do you got for us?
All right, so this one is actually fun. This is a mode that I was actually surprised about, and I was in for all these. You were initially in, and then you backed out, and it's the
I don't even
Toy
remember.
Easy.
Oh yes.
Missile Frigate, I think it is, or something like that. But this is actually turns into the combiner's gun, which I did not know this until I was wondering when we saw it. It looked small, and that's why he actually turns into their gun, which is really cool. Again, some of these I took them from bot mode to ship, and then turned them into the gun. I thought this was a cool way to display them since we don't necessarily see this all the time, but this gave me Seacon vibes and of one of the figures turning into a gun. So really happy with that. And I'm really looking forward to the remaining pieces for the combiner. So this is, and I really like these two little blue, I guess like photons or something like that.
Yeah.
But really cool.
I just wish it transformed more into a gun. It's literally a boat with a handle.
Yeah, it really did. Here, let me stick this up there. There we go. But yeah, it does peg in really, really good though, and so I love it.
Why don't you turn it upside down for a second? No, turn it all the way upside down with the red on the top. Just keep flipping it. No. Put it. There you go. One more. You're not getting there.
Like this?
Turn it like this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That thing on the top. So now flip it around. Now flip it all 180. Keep going. There you go. It's a submarine. It's a submarine. It's a Hasbro submarine. And yes. So, and that is, I saw this comment. It looks like a Megatron submarine idea. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's really cool. And then I mean, like like the little gun turrets on here actually work and stuff like that. So a lot of detail in here, lots and lots of detail in here. So I was really happy with this.
All right.
All right. This one is my piss me off figure, and that's Unique Toys Sporter or their Sandstorm. Again, there's supposed to be some slots right here for when you turn it into buggy mode, and there's no slots for the arms to plug into. People have said that they've cut the tabs off, and I'm like, I'm not cutting the tabs off. I paid full price for this, so I expect it to work completely. If the shop can't, if Unique Toys can't fix it, then I'm going to be asking for a credit on the figure. So that's how I typically do business if they can't fix it. And so that's what I will be doing. But I love the bot mode because it's really the only MP Sandstorm we have. The helicopter mode looks great as well. The buggy doesn't even look like a buggy. Looks like a Oscar Mayer Wiener mobile, but I still want to be able to do it. So this is like a 2.5 changer. It's not a triple changer.
So Warren says that you should have stuck with the Dr. Wu Sandstorm. Pretty sure he has all colors of that. So
yeah, I like the Dr. Wu. I do like the Dr. Wu. I don't like how the propellers fall off on the back of them in bot mode. That is my only gripe about that. But I did, since again, most of my collection is MP now, I did want to have an MP representation of this figure. But Warren, I appreciate you getting me. Maybe I shouldn't appreciate you for getting me into buying some of those Dr. Wu figures, but they are good. And then we're gonna go with Xtransbots, and so we'll start off with the guy who was showing, and we have the Fury or their runabout. The part that I don't understand, and I think this is something that a lot of collectors have said, is this hole here in the chest doesn't necessarily make sense to me. There is someone selling. I'm waiting on mine to come in. It's actually a decal that will cover that up and keep the same aesthetic of the red here. So I'm waiting for that piece to come in. This one had a couple of gripes that we talked about. People's foot was breaking off because the screw was too tight. So when I got this, I did loosen up the screw. But other than that, I really didn't have any major issues with it. Or I shouldn't even say major. I didn't have really any issues with it. The backpack, I mean, it tabs in enough, but if you move it too much, it will pop out. But I love the look of this figure. it looks just like it jumped off the cartoon. I love it. So I'm very happy with it still. I probably wouldn't feel that way if I was one who had to who didn't know about loosening up the screw and my foot broke off.
Yeah. Back to
Oh,
Sandstorm. A quick question: are you still getting Hasbro Sandstorm?
yes.
Yes. Okay. And he took a round to the gut. There you go, Bobby. That's the story. All right.
Then we have their Run Amok, who this one had absolutely no problems. I love this figure. This is actually like we might be talking like figure of the year type.
Hmm,
This is
really?
this is very, very good. Um the transformation was not too crazy. Everything tabbed in together fine. I love the alt mode. Everything pegs in well, flat back. I mean, we got an ab crunch. It takes on the aesthetic of the figure. I'm I was actually stunned by how good this came out, and what also I guess makes it kind of figure of the year quality is because when I got this, I was already happy with it. Then I got Runabout, and I was just like, it's totally different. Granted, they look the
Yes.
same when
And
they're finished, but the alt modes are
Titan
different.
says that
Oh,
they're night and day on QC.
yes, yes. And so it was again. This is an amazing figure. I'm so happy I picked it up.
And Michael actually has a very interesting thing. He says he watched MGo's review of Unique Toy Sandstorm from years ago, and it didn't have any slots for buggy mode as well.
Uh, I actually watched it as well, and it did, unless he did two videos because it did show where he pegged it in. Because I actually, when I complained to the store, I actually took pictures of MGo's um video and sent it in.
This is going to make you happy. Warren says make Run Amok into kit.
Uh, I have a feeling they'll do that, but I need to have the light go back and forth, and I'm not messing with any electronics to do that. But that's what will sell it for me to be kit.
All right. And Michael also says that the hole in the chest was evidently something to do with how the steering wheel folds up on the inside.
Yeah, that's what I've heard, and I was trying to figure out how it made sense because it didn't have to do that with the Run Amok because it has a steering wheel that folds up as well. So it kind of throws me off. But again, somebody in the Transformers community came up with a solution, and I'll be happy when that sticker comes in
Yeah.
to cover that up.
All right. And is there anything else?
That's oh wait, no, I take that back.
See, I knew it.
Um So we did end up getting Big Load from Xtransbots, and I love this figure as well. It's very solid. I don't know about the um combine mode. That thing looks kind of weird in combine mode, but this is, you hear those ratchets in there. This is a great dump truck. It's a great figure. The transformation, there's one part I do not like, and that's and under here you have to slide the arms on this little swivel thing to peg into like a T connector in here, and it's a little
Mm.
bit hard to do that. I don't know if it's showing per se. It's a little fiddly to do that, but I found a little workaround. If you actually just put the arms in there, peg them down here, then you can actually kind of line it up a little bit better, and it slides in a lot easier. I even used a little spudger to just make sure it's slid in evenly. So um, that was really cool, and I like this. If this is what their Constructicons are going to look like, beware everybody else that's doing these. I think these are great.
And Paolo says that he's looking forward to seeing Devastator without parts forming. Xtransbots and Fans Toys look like they're going to pull it off.
Yeah. Well,
and I'd throw MMC into that loop as well.
MMC, yeah.
Yeah.
And lastly, I did get the Toon version, and they are stickers, and they weren't hard to put on at all, but looks really good, I think, from a Toon aesthetic. And it, again, another figure that I really like, and it's cool. It's really cool.
It does. Now, that's the one I like better personally. The chrome is really nice on that.
Oh yeah, you can kind of see there. I mean,
They
it's
did a
very,
good job.
very shiny, very clean.
Yeah.
So this was.
Now, does it have an ab crunch?
It does not have an ab crunch.
Oh, I'm out. Never mind.
Yeah, no ab crunch. And I couldn't remember. That's bad. Yeah, no ab crunch. But I'm not as big of a ab crunch person as you are. I'm okay with this figure in particular not having an ab crunch based on it being the kind of the middle section of the combiner.
It needs to be as sturdy as possible.
Yes. So, actually, I think we have reached the end of my February. Now, did anybody keep track of how many figures that was?
I was trying to, but you were going so fast. I think it was about 20.
So it was very, very ironic, very unplanned. There was 29 days in February, and I got 29 figures for the month of February.
So 1 a day. Wow.
Yeah.
Is that a record?
For it to not be a con, I think so. This February was crazy. I think it also comes because of Chinese New Year. They were trying to push stuff out and things like that. So a lot of stuff came in that I didn't know was coming in. March has already started off slow. I mean, I know we're 3 days in, and I've got 1 figure so far.
So bad that's slow for you. That'd be busy for me. Let's get to some of these questions. So going back to the big load, are the wheels on it rubber?
Yes. And let's see if we can.
Oh, you could tell they're rubber. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least I can. Yeah. Let's see. Deceptosaur's Den says he only has so many fingers and toes. You would not. You'd have to start going over your hand again with how many he picked up. And Titan says might be good. Bobby gets 6 sets of Constructicons. He'll need equipment to build an extension on his house.
Yeah.
I think you are.
I think you might be correct on that.
Oh, and here we go. Eddie says, what was our favorite pickup? Now, I didn't have many, so mine is obviously the non-transformer thing that I got because 1, it was a gift. 2, I just really like it. Now, Bobby has a little bit more of a thing to think about. So what would be your favorite? And you can't skimp out and pick 2. You have to pick one.
No. This honestly, I'm going to say the Run Amok.
Okay.
There were some that I liked because of size. There were some I liked because of, look or feel or something like that. But among everything, the Run Amok stood out for me.
Let's see. Oh, so you are a bad influence, Bobby. Chris says he was going to skip Xtransbot Devastator, but you sold him on the big load.
Yes. Do it, man. Honestly, there's in the transformation, I'll give a shout out to TM Reviews. He just lost his dad, so prayers to him. But I watched his video on it, and he talked about some things that there are a little bit of finicky things, but nothing like what we've seen from Xtransbots before that make it bad. It was just more like little tricks he showed that made it like, oh, that is so easy to do now, where other people might have not done that. So watching his video really helped make things a lot easier.
All right. And while we're on that, how much does he run for? Very reasonable, if I remember. He was like 110.
110.
Because I remember looking at that and being like, that is really cheap. So
Yeah, it was.
There you go. Deceptsaurus Den said Sony is his favorite reviewer. So
I don't know. I might take a little offense to that. No,
yeah.
no. We had the pleasure of hanging out with them, meeting them in person in Orlando, and so really cool guy, and we chopped it up a lot. So yeah, he actually made some jokes about him being a little jealous of us about us interviewing Get Right Robot and stuff. So
Yeah. Jose says, when you see a new Devastator, you're gotta catch them all. That's
Pokemon.
It's pretty much. Yeah, well, I'm telling you, Bobby, you need to go watch Pokemon.
No, not at all.
You're practically Ash Ketchum of the, Transformers collecting.
I will be Bobby.
Ash.
I'll be Bobby the Bot of the Transformer collector.
Duke's asking us, what are we looking forward to picking up in March? So I don't know if you're talking about LA, TFCon LA, or if you're talking about normal figures. So I don't really have anything particular that I'm looking forward to besides LA. Hopefully, I keep checking like once every 2 or 3 days if that KO Nemesis Prime comes up. So I hope that comes out. And now if we're talking about TFCon LA, it's the exclusives. I'm really excited for Wingman, but we haven't gotten a official confirmation or not, but I really want that Rosanna and Flip Sides. Really want those. So hopefully those will be there.
So for me, yeah, everything that James said from the con version. There's some things that I'm still waiting on. I'm still waiting on my Scourge from Fans Toys. I still have not got it yet. And so hopefully I get that for March. There was another figure that was supposed to be here, and I'm not going to say what it is because hopefully it will get here. But for some reason, it was returned to the sender, and I don't know why. And so it should have been here. So hopefully I don't have to wait long for that, and I'll be able to share that with you all for March. But if it's not QC issues, it's shipping issues. So
that's a new one for you.
Yeah. Well, I had it with my Metroplex, my Legends Metroplex as well. So
yes,
and my
that's what I mean. It's new.
Oh yeah,
that was just the end of last year.
Yeah.
Snell says he pre-ordered GI the Triptychon, the Legends Triptychon, and he's waiting for it to ship. Oh, it's already out. So on the other one, what do you mean by the other one? Let us know. Is there another?
Oh, you're talking about the Scorponok, maybe?
Oh yeah, that one. I don't even think there. Besides the head that we saw, I don't think there's any other news on that.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what you're talking about now.
Eddie says he's liking the extra purple on the toy version. I am 100% with you. Every one of the Devastator bots, in my opinion, need to have purple and green. So I was totally out on that, and I thought it was the worst looking thing in the world. And then they showed the toy version. I was like, oh, not bad.
It's amazing. They both look great. Yeah, I'm very pleased. I'm stunned.
Yeah. Deceptsaurus Den says he gets his news and views from us. So we appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't look for us to transform figures. It's I don't have the time to.
Yeah, maybe one day, but right now we have more fun doing this with you guys.
Yeah.
Let's see. Deceptsaurus Den says he wants more Leo Kaiser body parts. There you go. Isaiah says he's Ready for Wingman.
Yes.
Deceptosaurus Den also says it's New Age Shattered Glass Wind Charger. Those are the ones I forgot about. I might have to put in a pre-order for that Wasp.
I don't know if I'm going to do it yet. So far, I'm out.
Lara says, do we know what month Hasbro will start releasing the 4 Studio Series 86 Constructicons that were leaked? All of those leaks were for 2025.
2025, I think, yeah.
So I wouldn't expect anything being shown with those until December, and they probably won't even come out until, I would say, mid-2025. Unfortunately. And then Eddie says, anyone have any idea when Wave 2 of United goes up for pre-order? Have we seen Wave 2? Besides the leaks?
Honestly,
I don't think we have. I'm assuming they're waiting for a Transformers Tuesday or something like that.
Yeah, because there's so many leaks. They need a plumber to come help them out, unless maybe they're doing
I think it's on purpose.
Yeah,
that's what I'm like. Something's weird about that. And speaking of leaks, Isaiah says, do we think we'll get Swoop and 86 Prime this month? No, unless they get released in South America, like that Cheetor and the Sandstorm and the Silverbolt that are just randomly popping up. I don't think maybe we'll be seeing them, but I don't think we'll be getting them this month.
Yeah, I think there's going to have to be a pulse day, or as James mentioned, they've got to announce the Swoop. I don't think we'll get anything in stores, especially a Prime as well. I don't think we'll get anything in stores, truly in stores, until they have some type of fans Tuesday or something like that, and they announce it. That's probably going to be something that comes later in the year.
Yeah. Here, do we know what time you, Bobby, are going to get the Peter Cullen signed? He does have a time. I don't know if he knows it off the top of his head.
I don't. I got the VIP, so I'll be doing it with Peter and Frank. And yeah, I don't know the time yet. I haven't even looked at. Last year, I had a snafu with booking my hotel, and so I've just been making sure that my hotel, my flights, all that stuff has checked out. I haven't even looked at anything convention wise in terms of time wise of doing anything yet.
Isaiah says he keeps asking Shozi about the third-party Tiger Hop. Hopefully, it gets made this time. I'm right there with you. That stylized one looks really cool. I'll be picking it up, but I really want a Razor Claw. Bobby can't wait. He's really excited about the Silverbolt too. Chris says, do we know for sure that Xtransbots are doing any toy recolors of the Battle Chargers? Now, that's what I'm waiting for. I don't think it has been officially stated, but I wouldn't doubt if the third-party panel shows them off.
Yeah, I can second that. I think I think if they wouldn't have had any problems with their runabout, they would have definitely jumped in the waters of doing that. I think they'll probably take the show off and maybe release it for the third-party panel in Toronto, just because there's a little bit of negative.
I don't think so, because they haven't even shown any. The last time they just showed off the figures right away. I think they'll just show them and then they just won't release them for a year.
Well, and the only reason I say that because I think about their Omnibots, which they still have to release the other 2 Omnibots, but they kind of came out with all the different colors, and there wasn't as much. I don't know, when you start having it publicized about a figure looking bad, in my mind, my marketing mind, the worst thing you will do is like, hey, let me show you another figure, or show you that figure in a different color so you can go buy that.
I know, but people weren't saying it was looking bad. I think they just said it had issues.
Well, that's what I mean.
There's a big difference between that. So.
Breakage is bad. I'm not necessarily saying looking bad, but if you're
gotcha.
Okay. You don't want to come out and say, hey, I know you have a broken figure and we haven't necessarily fixed it yet, but here's some different colors that you can put pre-order in for. I think they probably will get it resolved first and then come out.
Parsley Decisive says he believes Fans Hobby is either one of our favorite third-party companies. It's hard for me to say they're my favorite, but I do like their quality and I like their aesthetics. So it would be among the top for me. I don't know about Bobby. What about you?
Um, I think they do a good job. I wouldn't say they're my favorite. They're
Yeah.
probably top 4 for
Yeah,
me.
so they're near the top. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
And
near
is
the
there
top.
a
Yeah.
particular release we'd recommend as somebody with their first fans hobby purchase? Ginrai or any of the repaints.
Yeah.
I
I
would say
would
that was my introduction. Well, I guess I got the Scourge, but that was my reintroduction to them, and I think it's really encapsulates all of what fans hobby's about, which is fun figures.
Yeah, I got in with the Headmaster Juniors, I think, were my first introduction into the fans hobby world, and they're cool. It was getting figures that we didn't see in the masterpiece size from other vendors that
Yeah.
sold me on fans hobby, and that's really what still sells me on fans hobby is that we don't see these, but definitely those Gimrais, those are all really good. I have
Yeah.
I have a few of them.
This episode's Den says they found the new figures in the Walmart in the Antarctic. At this point, it would not surprise
It
me.
would not surprise me at all.
Titan says any rumors or speculations on reveals at TFCon. So I talked about the Xtransbots ones. I think we're going to see better images of Tidal Wave, Fans Hobbies Tidal Wave.
Yeah.
I think we might get a better prototype of their Starscream. I don't really remember Xtransbots or Fans Toys or anything like that and what
The
they're doing.
Ironhide
So
and Ratchet. They're
yeah, so
probably
maybe
they'll
we'll get
probably
some
the
of those.
Ratchet,
Yeah.
probably the Ratchet.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably some more news about the Defensor from
Yeah,
XTV.
something like that. Yeah.
Fans Toys. I think they'll probably. I'm hoping that they announce their Blitzwing as coming out. I can't think of what else that they were rumored to be talking about.
The Ultra
Ultra
Magnus.
Magnus. Yeah, maybe some more Ultra Magnus. I'm just kind of going down the line of, I think Kang Toys will probably see some more colored pictures of the dinos.
I'm hoping we see some of the MMC's Infinity line, which is their like reimagined Transformers. I really want to see a drift car drift. I think that would be really cool. So I'm hoping we see something like that. That's been rumored for a long time.
Yeah.
Yes, they leaked them to counter the bad financial news. Again, wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, it would definitely make sense.
Does New Age do TFCon exclusives? I don't believe so.
No, we don't typically see Legends exclusives from what I remember.
Yeah.
No,
They might. You never know.
Yeah. Usually it's the third party panel where they talk about Legends stuff. That's where we kind of get the big news for Legends.
John says that the Cybertron Sunstreaker is pretty decent by Hasbro. Seeing the in-hand images, it didn't look as bad as I thought it would.
Yeah.
Honestly. The first images were really bad, but this one wasn't that bad. So I know Bobby can't wait to get that.
Doubt it. I thought about it, actually, to be honest.
Duke said, do either of us care about the upcoming Transformer movie? Care is a strong word. I'm interested to see what it's like, but do I care about it? No. I mean, I'm glad they're pumping money into Transformers.
I care, but I try not to care because I don't want to get disappointed. Like, I was really excited about Rise of the Beast, honestly. I was really looking forward to Rise of the Beast, and I was very, very disappointed. So the one, I don't really like the way the characters look. So I'm hoping that the plot brings me into feeling better about it.
Yeah. Paolo says, here you go, Bobby. This will make you care. Imagine the next TF movie is a G.I. Joe crossover that teases Mask.
Did y'all hear that? My mask just cussed you out for saying that. Like,
your wallet did?
My wallet did. He was just like, don't you put that evil out there. Because, yeah, I mean, if they came out with new mask toys, honestly, Hasbro was just missing the ship on that. That would be so exciting. I don't know what I would do if they created a universe of Transformers, GI Joe, and Mask. I'd be in trouble.
Here is Jonathan's question: our least favorite third-party company. His is Xtransbots, but it's also in his top 3, and I think that's very normal for Xtransbots.
Least favorite.
My least favorite. It's hard for me to say a least favorite because they're all pretty good, but I guess objectively, it would be Xtransbots just because that's the one figure that broke on me when it shouldn't have. But I still have the figure and it's fine. It's not a bad figure at all. Bobby, on the other hand, has probably a much more colorful answer.
Unique Toys.
Oh,
that would be my least favorite.
Because of the Sandstorm?
No, well, I also have their Octane, which it's fine for what it is. It's not a solid figure. Like, its legs are kind of loose and stuff like that. So just the overall quality, I think, compared to some of the others. And it's also the line I have the least amount of figures in, I think.
I'm also going to throw this one up here. Lara says he's wondering if McFarlane or Super 7 is going to do Mask figures, or maybe both will do them. I would see Super 7 doing them before McFarlane because I think it's a Hasbro property, right, Bobby?
Yes.
So I think Super 7 already has a deal with Hasbro, so I would definitely see them doing it, and I would definitely see Bobby overpaying for those.
No, they have to, transform.
Well, they would if they did it, it would just be the human characters from the TV show.
Yeah, no, I don't need those.
You want to pick those up?
The vehicles. Yeah, I love the vehicles.
Okay. I think Jonathan's right that New Age did a black Megatron and gun mode for TFCon exclusive. I don't think it was only TFCon though. I think it was also
was it BotCon?
One of the conventions in Asia.
Oh, what was it? It was at TFCon? Oh, actually, it was.
I think it was.
It was Baltimore or something like that they did a couple of years ago. Okay, so yeah, I do remember that.
Let's see. Chris says I want them to come out with one decent live action Transformer movie. I think they did. Bumblebee was really good. I actually really enjoyed Bumblebee. I thought it was a great character driven movie that wasn't too spread thin, because that's the problem with these Transformers movies that I think we talked about on the show before. They have such large casts and then they don't give any of them personality.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't love, I think if as a longtime Transformer fan, you love your characters, whatever that is, whoever your favorite character is, you have some type of connection with them. In the movies, it's just like, oh, there's Jazz, he's dead, or there's Sideswipe, oh, he's dead. It's you don't get that personality and that connection with them. They just kind of kill them off, and you're like, that was just like a random figure. You just treat it like a random character.
Yeah. Oh, and here, this is all for you, Bobby. They love what Ramen's doing. I know you have quite a few of those, if I'm not mistaken.
I do love what Ramen's doing. I have their, I've collected from the Machina. I've collected from their 80s Commanders, which is the Centurions. I've done their Silverhawks. And I think that's it so far. So ironically enough, I was just on their site today because they are doing the Mask Piranha, which is the purple motorcycle with the little sidecar that turned into a submarine. They're doing that, and yeah, I'm all in for that. So amazing.
I'm sure you are. Here's Partially Divisive again, saying thanks for our fans hobby recommendations. We don't have any Diaclone in our collections. Are we getting the Titan-sized Diaclone Great Robot base? Personally, for me, the price is kind of prohibitive just because they look great. They're just really expensive. Like a 7-inch figure was like $150. So, yeah.
I don't have any connection to them, So to jump in at that price point, again, I couldn't I couldn't do what I did for February and add those in there as well. I think I'd be getting served divorce papers or something like that.
Yeah, because I think half of that, the Great Base Robot is like $400.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I couldn't do both. I literally have to pick a team. I like where I'm at right now where I can kind of dabble here and dabble there, but I would go I don't know what I would do. I don't want to go down that route.
yes. The Libra review says a cool tie-in for Mask is a division of GI Joe that uses Transformers technology in the vehicles. Huh. You're giving the writers of the Energon universe some ideas because that is pretty cool.
Honestly, that's what I thought Mask was when I was a kid. I thought it was a cross between GI Joe and Transformers, and they just called it Mask until I saw the concept because they don't have any weapons besides their mask, and their masks were so cool. Gosh, I love Mask. That
Would
was
you buy life-size versions if they came out with all of them
of the mask.
of the masks?
I actually would. I actually would do that because the masks were so different and so unique. Like besides the vehicles changing, their masks were, what it was all about. Mobile Armored Strike Command. Yeah, those masks were kind of dope.
Deceptador's Den says the company making the Scramble City Devi with a Grimlock is getting a side eye from me.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, it kind of looks cool.
well, the side
I know
eye,
Bobby's all in.
the side eye I always took as a negative thing.
I do. I think it could be either which way.
I'm in for it. I just want to see it hopefully in a different color. That would be ideal. Different color makes it an instant buy.
Yeah.
Having it come in green, I like what they're doing. I just would want to see more.
And back to the movies, Chris says TFs are side characters in their own movies. I completely agree.
Yeah.
That's the sad part. That's why I hate humans in
Yeah.
Transformers media. Isaiah is asking us if we were going to play Reactivate. I didn't know that they recently announced 20 playable bots. It depends. I don't like the pay to play thing that a lot of these companies are doing nowadays, where you buy the game and then you keep paying to keep playing the game and getting new stuff. Mortal Kombat's a great. I love Mortal Kombat, but it's in shambles right now. But if has a good single player, you don't have to play with others and you can play by yourself, then maybe I'll pick it up.
I'm right there with you. Unfortunately, I don't get a chance to play games as much as I would like to, and that would be one of those games where if I did get it, I would probably. I mean, James and I played Mortal Kombat. He kicked my butt, but that was like a couple of months ago, and I haven't turned it on since.
Hey, you kicked my butt on Street Fighter, so
I haven't turned that on since we played. I did get Tekken and played that, but I haven't turned that on for like maybe a week and a half or so. So I I would want to get it to support, but then I don't know if it's a pay to play type thing, I won't be getting it either.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Chris says he got some of the Diaclone reboot stuff, but he's not a completionist. Let us know what you think about it, because there's some stuff that actually looks really cool.
Yeah.
Snell's World says, did anyone ever make that white cab over from AoE? I think they made it as an exclusive in Japan, but I don't think anybody else has made it since. Paolo says, we got a TFO with no humans and people didn't like it either. You are correct. But I don't think that has anything to do with humans being in it. I think that has everything to do with the writing.
Yeah. I thought the first part of the Netflix series was okay.
Yeah. I thought it was good until I got to the Beast Wars characters and they sounded completely wrong. John's asking, did we get any of the Reactivate Transformers? No. I'm waiting for the mainline versions because I don't like the black that they have. They look amazing. And I definitely want that Bumblebee. I just don't like the black repaint. Well, I like black repaints. I don't like the black splotches on these figures.
Yeah, I don't know.
Titan says he's not certain they'll ever release the Reactivate game. Didn't Hasbro discontinue that toy line? I think that was like a preview. I think that they were going to get them in Studio Series because that's what the gamerverse figures were. I think they were just leading into the Reactivate toy line. So I think that's where we're going to see them. They just aren't, out there right now. They're probably going to wait till closer to when the game comes out.
I actually lost interest in even the game. I mean, they talked about it so long ago.
I don't think we've seen any gameplay, honestly. Could be wrong.
Yeah.
So who knows? Yes, Deceptors. Then I'm in the same boat. He has a dozen games he needs to play or finish.
Yeah, I just finished the story mode on Tekken, and that was whatever.
Here's Chris about the Diaclone. It's expensive, but you get what you pay for. So I think that's a shining review if I've ever seen one.
Yeah,
with how expensive they are.
Yeah, that's just something I can't do.
Oh, here we go. Does anybody know if they sell just the Diaclone humans? We would love a pair to go with the new Missing Link Prime. So I found some on AliExpress that come with like the robot, like walker things. So you could find them there. I know they sold them separately because I think you bought some, right, Bobby?
Yeah, I bought a 4-pack. I was
Yeah.
thinking if I had them around here. I did buy a 4-pack, and I can't remember how much I paid. I don't even remember where I got them from. Unfortunately, I can't.
I think it was Big Bad Toy Store because I think you sent me the link.
I did send
but
you the
again,
link.
it was either that or TF Source, one of the two. So they do have them if you go looking. I mean, I would recommend going to AliExpress because they were like $60 for the 4-pack, but that's just me. Oh, and Chris said TCP has some 5-packs. Yeah, go check that. They might. That makes sense. Let's see. Less games equals more third-party figures. Definitely.
That's true.
Isaiah says, I mentioned Final Fantasy VII in the last videos. Well, good. I've actually never played that game. It's just so much in the zeitgeist of being a gamer that I know about it. I'm not a big fan of tactical RPGs.
That was actually
playing them. I love the story behind them.
That was actually the first Final Fantasy I ever played on PS3, was it? Something like that? Yeah. 2 or 3 or something like that. And
PS1.
Was that? Oh, okay.
Final Fantasy, yeah.
So I just remember playing, and I was just like, oh, okay, this has to be the end of the first disc. And it was like, maybe 2 hours of me playing. And then I was like, okay, a month later, I'm still on the first disc.
Yeah. So Sephiroth is one of those characters that I really like. So he's very interesting. So
yes,
the one-winged angel. At least that's his song. I don't know if he's called that in the game.
I don't know.
But I know his song is called the One-Winged Angel. Oh, here we go. So this is talking about, I'm assuming, the Reactivate. Hopkins says that the Optimus is nice, some fiddly clearance, but he's practically a modern leader class size in comparison to a lot of the other primes. A bit taller than Rise of the Beast Voyager. Yeah, that's what it looked like. It looks good. I hope they come out with those in like standard colors because I think I would probably be in on those because they all look good from what I can see.
Yeah, I don't know.
And yeah, Isaiah says it was PS1. That's what I thought.
Okay. Yeah.
So
that was something else that I've had all the PlayStations. I used to be a big gamer head and was like getting all the game systems. And then I think for my PS4, I don't know, I have like the fighting games, and I always had the NBA games. My PS5, I bought that when it first dropped, and then I think I probably have 5 games, maybe 6, and that might be pushing it there.
Yeah, yeah. Paolo says, I wonder if he'd play games more if he went back to his old consoles. That's definitely the case with me. I like to emulate certain games, so that's what I've been doing. I actually bought a whole emulation thing called the Odin 2. If you guys like classic video games, I definitely look into it. All right, well, we're hitting the 2-hour mark right now, so I think it might be time to start wrapping this up. If you guys have any last questions, feel free to put it up there, but I think it's time to start wrapping up. Anything you want to say, Bobby?
This was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that this is something you guys look forward to. I mean, I know we look forward to it. I'm interested in your thoughts on what else we could do that floats your boats, and something that we would love to bring to the community.
Yes, yeah. So let us know. Stay tuned. We're gonna have some more lives this month than last. We've got TFCon coming up. So I saw a lot of people before said they wanted to see the third-party panel, so we'll definitely do that for you. And yeah, we'll see you guys at the next news cycle, which will be right before TFCon.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, James will be hanging out in a week.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, I will be in the same state, let alone the same room then. So,
yeah.
So look forward to a lot of videos coming out of that. We plan to show off all the exclusives and stuff like that. Bobby's buying every single one.
Don't say that. Don't you wish that evil on my wallet?
I'm not wishing an evil. It's a fact.
I love what the Titan just put up. Please remember to caress that like button. That is hilarious. Yes, please do. Again, we love doing this. You guys keep coming back. We'll keep putting out more. If there's anything in my haul that you guys want to see more of or have us talk about, please highlight that as well. Members, we talked to you guys last week and talked about some of the things that you guys wanted to recommend as well from our hauls that you would like to see. So please get to it, and if not, then we'll just keep doing what we're doing.
And John says that he watched it so much that he became a full member. So again, thank you so much for that.
Yes, thank you.
We really appreciate it. And Paolo says he'll probably upgrade his membership. Again, we really appreciate it.
Yes.
And Jonathan Walker says he hit the blood bucket 5 times. I think that does the... No, that's fine. That's fine. I had to do the math in my head. You're fine. Don't hit it one more time, though. Okay. Well, we're going to get out of here, and we will talk to you guys very soon.
Yes. As always, till all debates are won, till all of our wallets are happy with us, and we'll see you guys next week for the news.